What's up, guys? So the endgame mode Stygian Onslaught has like a bit of problems and needs some improvements, and a bunch of people are saying it's like far from perfect, and a bunch of people are defending it and giving pathetic excuses. We'll talk about that in a bit in the comments here. But I wanted to talk about the thing a little bit and read some of the posts on the Reddit of the official subreddit of Genshin Impact. So let's get right into the thing. And yeah, the first post that we'll take a look at is this one. So they posted some improvements and some suggestions about the thing, and I kind of agree with a lot of them. So I thought I'd read this here. So the new endgame mode feels like it's just for whales. I mean, it is because it is made for whales, which is not a problem inherently. It's not a problem. It's fine. But the characters are the bosses are like really toned up, and the mechanics only like target specific characters. If you don't have Escoffier for the third boss, you cannot clear it. If you don't have Citlali for the second boss, you cannot clear it. So that those two are like my main problems. Otherwise, it's fine. Having it for whales is not a problem. So those kind of mechanics are my real problem, real issue here. Here are some of the improvements that could make this mode better. Too much HP, reduce the boss HP by 20 to 30% across all difficulty levels 1 to 5. Okay, I don't agree with this because I think 1 to 4 is kind of all right. Only 5 or 6 are really high. But even I don't think the HP is a problem actually. I totally disagree with this point because I think it's not about the HP, it's about the mechanics and the specific character requirements, and which makes it a lot restrictive and undoable, unfun. So yeah, when 90% of your roster is like unusable, it's like not fun at all. Reward adjustments. Give 4-star weapon skins for completing level 5 instead of level 6, and the 5-star skins for completing level 6. Okay, this can be a good idea, but I would like a different change. I would like the weapons to be on level 6, and I would like them to be permanent rewards, because I don't want like let's say this one is like telling you like if you can clear the level 5, which I can, a lot of F2 players can, you get the skins every patch. But I think that's like not a different idea. I think being those weapon skins being limited is the real problem. Why are they limited? Why are not they permanent? That's the main thing here. So I would like them to be as like they can be at the most difficult stage, but they should be permanent for the whales. Even I don't know. I think that's I just think they should be permanent. Why are they limited? That doesn't make any sense. The skins look really cool, but yeah. Friend characters invites. Allow players to borrow one character from one friend's roster, similar to Imagine. This would make the mode a lot better because, for example, let's say if you don't have Citlali for the first one, or Emily for the second one, or like Escoffier for the third one, you are like cooked. Like it's impossible to clear the level 5. It's really hard. Yeah, it's like not very fun to do. Yeah, so that should make it a lot more accessible for players. So the third one is kind of all right. Single special artifact, this would make artifact farming much better. So what they mean is for example, the domains have like two artifacts, right? So in this mode, in this on Stygian Onslaught, you could select one artifact to choose from, and you get drops from only that one, which should be really nice. This way the new endgame mode will be better for both F2 players and whales. What are your thoughts on the new endgame mode? Do you have any ideas, suggestions, or improvements? I think this sports was really good about how to improve it. Yeah, I really liked it. I kind of agree with most of the points except for the HP, I think, and yeah, most of the points are pretty good. So yeah, let's take a look at the main thing that I pulled up here. This one is like the thing that I want to talk about. There's a comment here which we'll take a look at soon. So this guy says might actually quit thanks to Stygian Onslaught. After many hours of trying to clear the fearless difficulty, it's becoming clear to me that I simply don't have the correct characters to do so, and it's eye-opening. So basically, as I said, the first one needs Citlali, second one needs Emily, third one needs what was that? Third one needs Escoffier. Otherwise, the level 5 and level 6 are not doable. Level 6 might be here and there for the whales, it's fine. They can tweak the teams a little bit because they have C6 characters. But even for them, third one needs Escoffier. and second one it's burning, right? So it's not really too much non-restrictive in that sense. Over 35 stars and some constellations and over 25-star weapons. That's a lot of 5-star characters and weapons. It's essentially mathematically impossible for me to clear fearless. For example, I am playing this game for 4 years or 5 years. Around that, I think 4 years is the correct one, and I have like 25 5 stars. I think they have 30 and they can't clear it. The best part, this isn't even anything I can do about it. I cannot will an Escoffier on Citlali banner into existence. Okay, so they don't have Escoffier or Citlali. This feels beyond deliberate on Hoyo's part and also disrespectful because suddenly the teams I wanted to play have been absolutely invalidated. Yeah, so for my case, I don't have Citlali, but I have Escoffier. So the first one, what I did was I had to activate my C1 Arlecchino. If you want to check that video out, you can go and see that how I cleared the difficulty 5. But if I didn't have Escoffier, I don't think I also would be able to clear the difficulty 5 stage 3, which is like, as I said, 3 bosses, 3 character checks. It's not very fun. Now look at this comment here. So you remember from like 2 years ago when Sumeru in between Sumeru, I think somewhere around that, they had a developer interview where they answered a question regarding would they be willing to release another Spiral Abyss type content. They said they don't want to release anything like Spiral Abyss because it might give the players excessive anxiety. And this player, what is he talking about? This guy is talking about how the game mode is like not that good, and like it's not fun bosses. The bosses are only character checks, which is not very good. The guy has 35-star and 25-star weapons. What is he supposed to do? 35 stars and 25-star weapons. That's a lot of 5-star units. That's like 55-star things, and still cannot clear it. That's like really not ideal, man. Like only one or two character, if you miss like one or two character, you are gonna not gonna clear it. That's like unhinged. And what this guy says, let's take a look. Is that this how many? Okay, this has like 0 upvotes and this is like 70 upvotes. This rate is cooked, man. Is that the so-called excessive anxiety, however stalked called many years ago, so they can avoid doing endgame content? Like, god damn. How stupid do you have to be, man? How stupid do you have to be? They didn't even say anything about that. They're just unhappy about the game mode itself. The game mode needs improvement. Yes, lol, people don't know what they truly want. I think what people want is literally Stygian Onslaught just without the timer. This is a good thing because the timer is really short. The first two one, the until difficulty 5, the timer is 2 minutes, and the for difficulty 3, the timer is 3 minutes. So yeah, it's kind of cooked. That would be zero challenge if you can just chip away every boss with their own mechanics and let them kill themselves. That could make actual mechanics with patterns and stuff to learn, maybe even phases, even extra phases for harder difficulties. MMOs RPGs have been making hard bosses without timers for years. Yeah, so the bosses aren't actually hard. You are actually fighting a really tanky enemy versus the clock. So that's the difficulty. That's not really fun difficulty. I've been saying this for years. HP inflation doesn't make something hard, it makes it tedious. Yeah. So what you got from here is 3. This person is stupid, and 70 people that are bored it are also like really stupid. They're like toddlers, I think. I don't know how do you have this kind of mind. Like what do you even mean by that? Like, bro, what? They're just sharing their feedback about the experience they had on the new game mode. What's your problem? Let's take a look at this one. This one is also interesting. Why are people so disingenuous when it comes to the critique of Stygian Onslaught? Okay, let's see what's their point. It has a lot of upvotes, so I assume it's pretty good. For someone who actually beat it and tried it with various over-invested characters on my account and friends' accounts, I own multiple CCC. Oh, this is a whale. So yeah, okay. The main and biggest complaint about the new game mode is that it is specific character check. Yeah, absolutely. They're absolutely correct. You either have the characters that this thing needs, or you will have a shit game exit time, especially saying that it is a very narrow number of units. No one, including the most hardcore players, ever asked to have two-thirds of their roster unusable due to weird restrictive mechanics that caters to handful of units. So as I said, this is the main problem. Okay, so that's why this post has a lot of upvotes. That's why I am also gonna upvote it. It's like that's the main point. Of course, people keep making post after post, keep post after post telling others to get good, and get good part is pulling for skirk if you don't have ayaka. Right, if it was genuinely hard content, I understand, but when every clear you see uses the same units, and you have to ask yourself where the difficulty lies, in skill, investment in artifacts, constellation, or just owning a specific unit. So this is like the really on point post about the thing. Okay, so now I see why it has a lot of upvotes. Okay, at least the entire Reddit is not that stupid. Almost 2,000 people upvoted this. That means there are some healthy minds here. I am happy about that. Not the most branded take I have. Not the most branded take I have heard. Saw one guy saying F2 players company should know their place. Yeah, these players who talk like they are almost always shit at game and require actual skill and are trying to act superior in a game where they can pay to win. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The hatred towards F2P casuals on this sub is crazy. I know this sub is toxic, but holy crap, yeah. I mean, it's not. I know how what this is. I think it's not hate against F2P or casuals. It's hate against the people who are complaining. So F2P or casuals are complaining about the difficulty of the mode. I don't think F2P should complain about if a game mode is hard and you can't clear it. But you should like voice your concerns when the game mode is like only roster check of one character. So the third one requires Escoffier, second one requires Emily or like Perez or Kinish or something. You can also do other stuff like chlorine and stuff overload. But yeah, and the first one is like a Citlali check. It's like you can clear the first one with Hutao, you can clear the first one with Arlecchino, you can clear the first one with Mabuika. But if you don't have Citlali, you are not clearing with any of those because on C0, of course, on C0. Because without them, you won't be able to break the mini tulpas on time. It's really hard to break. With Citlali, it's very easy. You can go close to them, do a normal attack or a charge attack, or her spinning skill or something that can hit them easily. I had to activate my C1 Arlecchino and I had to break those many things with my Ayaka. So Ayaka was just a cosmetic in my team. I was using Arlecchino and I have to activate the C1 because Ayaka was wasting a lot of time breaking those. But yeah, let's take a look at the next one. Stygian Onslaught. What a bummer. I was under the impression we'd be able to get the weapon skins at least for the 4-star ones. I thought after 120 seconds we'll still be in combat at least to beat the boss and acquire the weapon skins. There's no time specified for the topmost objective. Well, I've been playing the game for 18 months now and without any cosmetic, I guess I'll continue that way. Yeah. So there's just no possibility to get the skins at all unless you got this much amount of money, and you can definitely get them, of course. Am I blind or did you post difficulty 5 stars a complete? Okay, so what is that? They are clearing it 108 seconds, 10 seconds. They are not clearing difficulty 6 with this timer. They need to be a lot faster for difficulty 6. This is not difficulty 6able. I mean, this timer is already cooked. They have only saved 24 seconds. Okay, not 24. I think this is 120, right? So 10, 24, 34 seconds. 34 seconds extra is not enough for difficulty 6. It's the HP is a lot higher. I don't think they did difficulty 6. There's a second picture I did with the difficulty 5 and unlocked the oh, there's a second picture. Okay, so that's just a misunderstanding. But yeah, as I said, 34 seconds, even if it was not here, I could really tell 34 seconds is not enough for difficulty 6. It's like a lot more tankier. But yeah, just see what they used here. So here they used, of course, Burning on the second one, Escoffier on the third one, or Risley also works because he's also cryo, but Escoffier is the main thing. The first one, okay, they did not use the cryo thing, but they did use the Nahida thing. This team should be a lot harder to play with other than the other. Okay, this is like a Hyper Bloom team. Okay, the Hyper Bloom team is kind of based though, not gonna lie. Everybody is using Vaporize here, but they are using Hyper Bloom. This is kind of based, not gonna lie. But yeah, basically roster check for all three of the bosses. I should try the Hyperloom team on my account and see how this works. I don't have Alaitam, but I could do something like what could I do? Yeah, I don't have Alaitam. I don't know how do I do that. Now I would use Naida, Cookie, and who else? I'll just see later. Might make a video on it too. But yeah, let's see the next one. Review on Stygian Onslaught from a combat enjoyer. Let's see the clear time first. The first one they use same thing. They didn't use cryo. They used bloom, the dendro to break the mini tool pass. The cryo is a lot easier though. With Sidlali, it just fits right into the team, and no nothing extra you have to do. So here you have like the dendro course doing nothing, getting purgent or something. They cleared this in 90 seconds, which is very impressive. This one 6 seconds super, and this one 97. Nice. Escoffier, and this one Overload with Mavuika and Varus, of course. But yeah, after playing the new mode for an hour, no co-op yet, I think I can accurately review it. Clear difficulty 5, which is where the last major reward is reroller dust. You absolutely need a higher investment DPS check wise, and then you do in 36-star epics, of course. Not even a question. Not only is each mode a heavier DPS check vertically, but there are 3 modes, so you also need stronger horizontal investment as well. So all 3 of the teams must have good units. Not only this, but the bosses are specifically chosen to be highly restrictive, of course, as I said, which means that not having a specific team build or even owning a specific character can lock you out of getting the last reroller. For example, if I didn't full Scopier, there's a 0 chance my account gets past the last boss, even though I beat the first 2 easily. So I am out of the reroller. The game mode is also restrictive in that you have 2 minutes to fight a single target with a massive amount of HP, and there's only so much you can do to maximize your damage, even with near perfect rotations. I'm pretty frustrated by the design of this event because a new permanent mode just for combat would be amazing, but they ruined it by turning it into a roster check instead of something where you can go very far by perfecting your gameplay. For example, more dangerous enemies that you must dodge or multi-wave AoE, where positioning becomes important. A positive note about the event, I think this event has potential and could be quite fun if the bosses were not so restrictive and you could also play more stuff against them. For example, the Drake or the Chicken obviously favor some playstyle elements, but they don't have nearly as hard requirements as Lava Dragon or the Ice Machine. Trying to perfect my rotations with my team was interesting and a decent challenge. Alright, so the mode of course has potential. They need to change the restrictive boss mechanics, which they bumped up a lot. So you know how the hydro toolpaths mini things, you can break them with pyro, but as the difficulty goes higher you cannot anymore break them with pyro. You need to cryo or dendro. That's like why is that even a case? Just let us break them with pyro, man. Like why are you making it like that? That's so annoying. Oh, of course the game mode has one big W is the artifact thing, the artifact farming thing, a massive W. Every 120 resin that you spend you get 1 extra artifact. I think that's really good. I think that's really cool as well. You get 1 free dust of enlightenment every update for spending 1 week for extra artifacts, which is nice. Yeah, I really like that. That's of course a big W. Is D5 is doable with the right C0 R0 characters. Even R0 is a massive problem. But the problem is that most players may not have every right characters. If you lack 1 or 2 specific DPS or key supports, it will be much harder. Like Escoffier, Physics belongs to whale territory, which gives only temporary cosmetics, and that does not do anything else at all. Yeah, I also think that cosmetics would be permanent even for the whales. Let's take a look at the next one that I pulled up. Stygian Onslaught is a bad game design. I have two more I pulled up, right? Yeah, so let's read this one. Stygian Onslaught needs to be reworked. The current design is bad. Rewards are locked behind a paywall. It's just fan service for people who spend a lot of money. It isn't designed for most of the community who tried to copy ZZ Deadly Assault and did a poor job of balancing it and designing the boss. I don't think they copied the Deadly Assault, because the Deadly Assault uh, is like the Deadly Assault max stars that you can get. It's very obtainable by F2P players if you have the correct teams. But here it's not. It's not. It's even harder than that, and very less. It's like even more restrictive than that. So yeah. And also the weapon skins kind of stink. You need the weapon skins to be permanent. The temporary weapon skins is like, why nobody will like that. The enemies are too character specific. Yeah, this is the biggest problem. I see this line everywhere. This is like the biggest problem. Overseer device can't be overseer device. The last cry was can't be beat without Scofier plus Skirk or Ryasley. Okay, Ayaka can beat it, I think, with the Scofier, of course. Lava is very difficult without Emily and requires Severus if no Emily, yeah, of course. Okay, not only Severus, it also requires Varys or something, but you can do some other stuff with a good chlorine build or something, or other other overload teams. I'm pretty sure Raiden can beat it, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a different video. Older characters are useless. The power creep is too much, and older characters need to be updated to use 12 characters 4+4 per pros. Older, it's not that older characters are useless, it's that the new characters, I mean the new characters are stronger, like Mavuika and Skirk, but the bosses itself are like favored towards the new characters. It's not only new characters, I mean yeah, new characters, but in that can be true as well. Scofier is kind of power creep, but yeah. The Exalted Boon is poorly designed. It only boosts certain characters further, limiting the selection, and just caters to players who spend a ton of money to get every character. Who had a terrible reviews on the previous event and was a copy of Stygian Onslaught a couple of months ago, and they didn't learn anything from it. Yeah, so a few months ago they had a event and it was a Mavuika check. If you had a DPS Mavuika build with a full team, it was like very easy. Otherwise, you could not clear it. So yeah, that event was really horrible. Solutions. Okay, let's read the solutions. Older characters need to be updated. Bosses need to be less character specific, like Lava being designed for Emily because burning damage is garbage without her. Overseer is too specific for Escoffier, mostly because the enemies have too much resistance, and there aren't enough strong characters to make 3 teams with. Artifact sets need to be better at removing resistances. For example, Animo set is great but only lasts for 10 seconds. The bosses lose the element really fast, so it's difficult to swirl it and impossible to swirl for the bosses with permanent application like Hyro Tulpa does. The buff currently only applies to specific characters, further eliminating possible choices. I want to use Alaitham for Tulpa, but he is not buffed. It should apply to more characters or all characters of each chosen element. Like fire has advantage, then buff all pyro. Dendro cry all together instead of select characters. Yeah, I see their point, because the character select screen, you can see like some of the characters have like the Imaginary Theater buff, 20% attack, 20% HP, 20% defense or something, or like that. I didn't read the buffs especially, but that should be for all the characters if the game mode is this difficult. So yeah, that creates a little bit of problem here. I see their point. It's true. Okay, let's read this one. This looks interesting. What paywall? The rewards for the primos are piss easy, and that's literally what 90% of the community play these events and endgame content for. Yeah, I played Stygian on. Is that the same person? No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, I play Stygian Onslaught until I get the 450 primos. I wanted the level after that. Saw the difficulty, told myself I ain't doing this, and left. I see the dust up element reward and the weapon skins as just optional bosses for baiting the higher difficulties. Kind of like echoes on Imagine Theater. I mean, they are nice to have, but they are not necessary for most of the player base. Anyone who has played HSR would know rerolling artifacts isn't exactly sure way to get good rolls. You will never get them then ever. You will never beat any future new endgame content to get the cosmetics. Good job making Genshin right about you people. Lol. You will kiss boots as long as they sprinkle some primos at you. Uh, these people, man, I don't know what to say to them. So this person just said, uh, "What paywall? I got my primos and I am happy with it. Why are you complaining?" God damn, bro, get a grip on reality. Bro, what doom posting? It's the truth. It's not truth. If that this is it's not doom posting, but this is truth. The paywall is you get to reroll your trash substats, and is more trash substats if you spend enough and gamble enough to at domains without touching grass. That's it. I give up, and it has -2 upvotes. God damn, bro. Let's read the last one and finish the video today. 3 teams, the most specific bosses possible, and you can't cope at the highest levels. Yes, I know for most players who only care about hard rewards, this won't matter, but I've got Skirk on Ayaka weapon, Purina C1, Fab, Elan Fab, Layla Fab, and I'm still nowhere close to clearing the last boss. Okay, they can't clear it, of course. Of course, they don't have Iscophere. Of course, they can't clear it. That's pretty obvious. Even Abyss starts with bursts. And of course, yeah, I missed the one line, I think, and I'm still nowhere too close to clearing the last boss. Or my only desire is not to start the chamber with no burst. Even Abyss starts with burst. It's different. I have no clue how you're supposed to keep his cryo shield down when you start with no burst. It's possible because you know you're supposed to use Kirk and Scofier and like Ganyu and like characters like Senna. It's possible, but yeah, I get the point. I need to spend at least 10 seconds energy gathering while applying little to no cryo. I mean, I get it, their point. They don't have Escoffier, so it's hard. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to talk about. A lot of people are not happy about the game mode. So I think they could make the game mode a lot better. The artifact thing is a huge W for the game, by the way. It's like really good feature. But the restrictive bosses are like the big problem here. I hope they change something about it on the next feedback update or something, next version update or something. In 6.0 they might change some stuff, I don't know, but we have to see. Make sure to subscribe for any future guides. I'll be making sure to make a video on this later as well, more videos. And yeah, with that, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, boys.